So here we have a tree viewer, and it has 10 parent nodes and 1,000 leaf nodes for every parent node. Now we've implemented lazy loading for this tree viewer. So instead of loading 10,000 leaf nodes for the 10 parent nodes that we have here, it should load only the 1,000 or so nodes that we just saw on screen. However, we need some way to verify this lazy loading behavior. And this would be really tough to do with a traditional debugger, and you would probably end up scattering your code with a bunch of printline statements, and it would still take a very long time to verify the behavior. However, with Chronon, we can do that very easily. So we'll run the tree viewer with Chronon recording enabled, and we'll just expand the first node so we can see the first 10 child elements. And let's close this for now. Now we will look at how our code behaved by opening this recording. So on this line we can see this tree viewer is created, and if you step inside we can see that a content provider is provided to this tree viewer. The content provider is responsible for loading all the nodes in the tree. Here is the content provider, and this is the method it calls each time it wants to load a node. So if lazy loading is not implemented properly, this method was probably called over 10,000 times. However, let's verify that behavior. So let's just run to this method. Now in the method history view, we see that only 20 calls were made to this method. So we know that this is in fact doing lazy loading. Now just to verify the behavior a bit further, if we look at the arguments to each of these 20 method calls, we see that for the first 10 method calls, the initial array of 10 elements containing the 10 parent nodes was passed in. You can see the ID is equal to 34. However, for the next 10 method calls, we see the ID has been changed, and the index also starts from 0. So this is the child nodes that we saw when we expanded node 0, and these are the 10 calls that were made for that child node. So we can see instantly over here that this method was called only 20 times for the 20 elements that we saw on screen instead of the 10,000 elements that this tree contains. So we have been able to verify the lazy loading behavior instantly with Chronon, and we didn't need to modify our code or do anything special to it.